Hello, welcome to Extraordinary Women TV with Shannon Skinner. I'm your host. My guest today is Tara Urza Dawood, who is the president and founder of Dawood Global Foundation and LADIESFUND. She's got quite a story that is nothing short of extraordinary, so you're going to want to hear her story. Later in the segment, before we take a break, I'll have my regular Good to Know Minute when I ask my guests for their top success tip, and you'll hear Tara's. Well, Tara, hello and welcome to the show.
Thank you, Shannon. I must say I'm so impressed by what you've achieved here. Your show is extraordinary.
Oh, thank you so much. Like you.
Thank you.
Now, let's talk about, you are the president of Dawood Global Foundation and the LADIESFUND, which is an initiative that provides financial security to women and to promote and train women entrepreneurs. You were also recognized, a recognized world authority on entrepreneurship and especially women entrepreneurship. This is no easy task, so let's talk about your journey today.
Absolutely. Anything you'd like to ask?
Now, your career began with, amazing, stellar academics. I mean, you are a graduate of Cornell, of Oxford, you studied law at Harvard. That's a pretty good solid base to start from, to start a really fascinating, successful career, don't you think?
Well, I have been very, very blessed to not only study at such wonderful places, but to study with people who truly inspire me. And that's been one of the best parts of the experience, not only from the academics and the teachers and the deans, but my fellow students. And I feel really, really blessed to have been able to meet and learn from them.
Now, you're based in Toronto.
Yes, I actually do divide my time traveling a fair bit. Yeah. And I'm in Pakistan, in Canada, as well as I travel for different conferences for my work.
Now, let's talk about the Dawood Global Foundation. What is it, and how did it get its start?
Well, you know, it's actually a very fascinating sort of journey, even if I look at it myself, because as you know, I was a lawyer, member of the New York Bar, and so my background was actually in law. But if we go back to my ancestry and sort of my own family legacy, my great-grandmother used to give gold medals to girls in our community in Pakistan whenever they would graduate from high school. And this was something really beautiful because, especially at that time, perhaps not all of the girls were encouraged to prioritize studying. And so this gave a great incentive as well as a great appreciation for those who did. And so when I started my asset management career, it was very important to me because I was the first female CEO of any financial institution in Pakistan, other than, of course, the First Women Bank, which was mandated by Benazir Bhutto and has always a female president. And when I was elected and made the CEO, I really found that the business community and the financial community could be even more inclusive of women and children. So we launched Baby Fund to include children into the community and launched, that was the country's first children's trust funds. And then LADIESFUND, which are women's financial advisory. Then what happened from that experience is that through CSR, we launched awards for women, networking lunches, conferences, and even a magazine. And suddenly that all became so extensive, we launched now the foundation, Dawood Global Foundation, which has been an incredible journey. And so LADIESFUND is now done primarily through the foundation. Of course, the asset management company specializes in every woman's needs when it comes to finance, which are very important and very distinct and not always addressed by as many financial institutions as could be. But now the foundation serves a larger purpose, and through launching it now in Canada and being able to help women back home in Toronto and across the nation be able to optimize and have better opportunities from scholarships, fellowships, and making their entrepreneurial dreams come true, what's happening is we also want to do research and what makes a woman more likely to be successful. So then we can, when they're having a low day, we can give them, pump them up in those areas to help ensure that more female businesses tip than ever before. Already, Canada is the #1 nation in the G20 for startups. And women businesses and SMEs are starting more in Canada than even male ones. But both the success of those businesses and the scale of those businesses are still not quite at the level of male businesses. And although this is not a competition, it's about having every opportunity provided to every person. And so we really, really want to help the women of Canada and ultimately globally achieve their dreams.
So let's talk a little bit about the Ladies Fund and what it is and what you plan to do with it.
Well, the most important thing is to serve the needs of the community. So I was really blessed to talk to the Federal Minister for Women last night, and the main topic was how can this foundation serve the needs of the ministry? And that's how we want to begin. Because although we want to give scholarships and fellowships to help girls have higher education, ultimately by her guiding and letting us know the greatest needs, we can then work best to serve them so that we can help more women businesses be successful.
And of course you travel the world speaking about financial literacy for women and women entrepreneurs. You don't stop for a moment, I think.
Oh, you're very sweet, Shannon, but to be very honest, I would even love to travel more.
I have to share, when we were speaking on the phone about the show and what you're doing, and I looked at your long list of achievements and accomplishments in your career, and I said, oh my God, where do you have the time? And you said something that was actually really interesting. You said, I have an abundance of time. Yes. I'm very fortunate. And what did you mean?
I actually meant that very sincerely. About a year and a half or 2 years ago, I examined my life and I found that I really had pretty much everything I wanted except for time. And I was always racing from one thing to the other, and people kept telling me that that's because the world is moving faster and no one has time these days with technology and easy reach. And then you know what? I said, that's enough. I'm gonna give myself this gift of time. And what I did is I just took a step back from life, and I didn't even have to take that big step. I took like a week off, and I just kept my calendar empty, and I started to then fill it with the things that mattered the most to me. And suddenly, not only did I find that I had enough time to do everything I wanted, it was like time was expanding, so that because I was loving and energizing each moment so from the heart, there was always enough time for things, and most importantly, there was enough time for me. I had my me time, which was something I think I was sacrificing, and a lot of people sacrifice in today's world. And when I was able to have that me time, it gave me even more within myself, so that I felt I could actually give even more to others, because my greatest desire, of course, is to serve others.
And so the key there is the me time.
Absolutely. As you say, your cup has to overflow within your soul, within your heart. And that's what I strive for.
Now, Tara, we're going to take a quick break. And before we do, I have my good to know minute. And I know that you've got a great success tip. So jump right in there.
Sure, absolutely. My #1 tip for success is to be yourself and know that you can do anything, because you really can. I have no doubt that anything you set your mind to, you can achieve. So believe in yourself and know that you can do absolutely anything.
Well, that's good to know. Thank you, Tara.
Thank
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, more with Tara Urza Dawood, who is the president of Dawood Global Foundation and Ladies Fund, and we're going to be talking more about financial literacy for women, so stay right there. Welcome back to the show. I'm Shannon Skinner, and I'm joined by Tara Urza Dawood, who is the president of Dawood Global Foundation and Ladies Fund. Quite an interesting background, an extraordinary woman. And I'm so grateful to have you here in the studio today. Now, we were talking about, before the break, about your global foundation. We were talking about Ladies Fund. You have a number of other initiatives as well. You travel the world speaking about financial literacy. Well, let's talk about some of the other things. I mean, you launched a magazine in Pakistan.
Oh, it's been wonderful to be able to have the country's very first magazine for women professionals and women entrepreneurs. And it's been so much fun because we've chosen to have and address issues that a working woman really would love to read about. And those include Harvard Business Review style sort of cutting edge pieces, like our debut issue debuted with the cover, The Glass Cliff, which was the buzzword that replaced the glass ceiling. And that's fabulous cutting edge stuff to be able to showcase. At the same time, we have a leading art curator talk about how a woman can invest in art for her office or with her general savings.
Right.
And we have the leading founder of the cafe culture in the country, who's another one of our brand ambassadors, wrote about recipes for working moms. And we had the former State Bank governor write about how the economic situation in Pakistan is suffering from many women not working after marriage, and especially medical students that the government subsidized through medical school, and then the women stop working after marriage, is affecting the economy and making Pakistan trail behind other countries. So we were able to showcase these various things, and we had the Turkish Consul General write a travel feature about Turkey and how women travelers can feel at home traveling on their own to Turkey and things like that, so for business or for pleasure. So we've been able to do a lot of fun things, and it's just wonderful.
Yeah, you know what's interesting is you do work in Pakistan, of course, here in Canada, and your focus is on women entrepreneurs, or a big part of your focus. You know, when I think of women in Pakistan in business, I immediately my mind goes to what might be different about them. But I'm sure there must be similarities between, you know, women entrepreneurs in Pakistan and Canadian women entrepreneurs. I mean, what are the similarities that you've experienced?
It's extraordinarily similar. In fact, the differences are the ones that are harder to find. One of the differences that is the most exciting is there's no gender pay inequality in Pakistan. There may be fewer women working in Pakistan, but those women are being paid equal to men, even in the highest of positions, which is something I think that we in Canada can learn from tremendously. On the other hand, there are fewer women working, and that's something that is needing to be addressed, so that the women who wish to work, for of course it's always ultimately personal choice, should have every single opportunity. And that's something we're great about in Canada, and that women who wish to work have every opportunity to do so and express themselves in whatever ways. Now with the joys of virtual businesses that have been really, really tapped into by Canadian women and women in the West, it's going to be a huge advantage to women in Pakistan, especially because for cultural reasons some women feel more comfortable working from the home, or some families are happier if their young daughters are doing so, and also because of the law and order situation. It's actually safer for people to do things virtually. Plus, in a fabulous way, virtually they can partner with Canadian women to do businesses equally side by side. And so ultimately every woman, and I think every man, wants to live their dream life, to have a better life for their children, and to express themselves and be acknowledged and recognized for the unique and special human being they are. Right. And that's ultimately what all this is about.
So what has been the greatest obstacle that you have encountered you know, in creating your fund and the foundation, sort of in you know, the greatest obstacle has been in the road for you as a professional businesswoman from where you are today?
Well, I think that, to be very honest, almost every day comes with a new obstacle and a new problem that needs fixing, but that's the fun part. And ultimately, the challenges are what teach us. And they may not feel that way at the time, but like any diamond in the rough, or even the caterpillar coming out from the cocoon, ultimately, looking back at life, it was the hardest moments, particularly the financial crisis that took place in 2008.
Challenge for so many people around the world.
The greatest lesson teachers, and ultimately they make you who you are. So it's all part of a larger holistic whole. But that being said, every day comes with new opportunities, new choices, and what's so extraordinary is sometimes, like a phoenix, from even the most challenging moments, all of us have opportunities to rise.
How would you define success? What does that look like?
Success has to be happiness. They have to be tied in and out, together. Because if you're able to be at peace with yourself, to me personally, living an authentic life is something that is very important to me. To be able to be myself comfortably anywhere I am, and to be able to make soul connections. And by that I mean just being authentic and meet other people who are authentic and connect on a level of realness. And that's something that's really important to me. So I want to build and continue to build my life with solid people who I admire and who inspire me with their authentic self. And so.
Now, of all of your achievements, and they have been long, what are you the most proud of?
Gosh, I think I'm just very grateful for any opportunities, but the things I think at the moment that I'm most proud of is the thank you letters people send from strangers who say that something we've done has changed their life and given them hope and made them believe that their dreams are possible. And that has been extraordinary because they're people you've never met, and they write to you from their hearts, and you know that you've had that impact on them, because ultimately there's no greater gift than to give and to serve. And to know that something you've put together has actually touched the hearts of people. That is the greatest gift.
Well, it sounds so inspiring to me. What gets you up in the mornings?
I look forward to the surprises that are going to happen that day, and especially the lessons I'm going to learn. Each day, my mother's always taught me that every minute of your life you're learning. And learning is something I love. And I feel very blessed to continually be learning.
So Tara, why is financial literacy so important for women?
Well, I think, Shannon, financial security is important for everyone. And for women, sometimes financial literacy, or what I call sometimes the banks and financial institutions, evolving their own literature so that it is more correctly addressing the needs of women, could be the ultimate solution. Because when you look at financial literacy, it sort of implies that women don't know much about finance, when it's actually, I think, a lot of financial institutions that could learn a lot from learning more about women and serving their needs. So it's a two-way street. And it would be wonderful if financial institutions, which is something I consult and help them with, start addressing the needs of women, which include risk-averse, longer tenure, seamless investing. While many men, and of course some women, love to see stock prices daily, a lot of women actually would prefer not to have to open their bank accounts monthly, bank statements monthly, but instead have a longer-term plan and focus their energies on many of the things women multitask on. So ultimately, if more products were created that address the growing needs of women, because many products right now are looking at derivatives and hedge funds and more aggressive and more ways to tweak risk in many ways and protection against risk, whereas the structures women want are not always being created, investigated into, and developed for them.
Now, Tara, I have thoroughly enjoyed this time with you. Unfortunately, it is up. Boy, that really whizzed right by. But for anyone who is interested in finding out more about you, more about your foundation, about the Ladies Fund, the Babies Fund, where can they go to find you on the internet?
Okay, well, just Ladies Fund is LADIESFUND. It stands for Women and Money. And, it's on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn. We've also got ladiesfund@gmail.com is the easiest email address, and the domain is www.ladiesfund.com and ladiesfund@gmail.com. And you can reach us in many ways. Virtually is probably the easiest, and you can, of course, I'm sure, reach us through Shannon if you have any questions, and I know that she will connect us in any which way you like.
That's absolutely correct. Well, thank you for being on the show today, and I wish you all the best. I've been very inspired by this conversation, so again, wish you all the best with what you do.
Thank you, Shannon. You certainly inspire me, and I'm sure all your viewers and fans. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, for more information about upcoming shows or to contact me, you can visit the website at extraordinarywomentv.com. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, you can follow me there as well. And a special thanks to my family and friends for your ongoing support, to Cindy Miranda, my assistant, who's behind the scenes, and I really appreciate you, Cindy. Well, if you are interested in transforming your life, I hope these stories have inspired you. You've been watching Extraordinary Women TV. I'm Shannon Skinner. See you soon.